Brett will be working with getting Coach Rod Smith on next. So I'm going to turn off. I got to jump off, but Brett will handle it from here.
Rod should be getting on any second here. All right, Coach Rod Smith is there. Coach, you good? You're muted.
Yes, sir. Ready to roll.
All right, so first up in the queue, we got Doug and then Jeremy and then Scott.
Hi, Coach Smith. Can you just talk about the depth chart, how it looks the first game at the quarterback position, and just how those 5 guys have looked in practice and what you're expecting from them on Saturday or Friday night?
Yeah. Well, obviously, we'll start off with Brandon being our starter, Brandon Peters. And then we'll either be Isaiah Williams or Matt Robinson, either or. And, I'm going to let it still play out the rest of this week to see who we go with next guy. And if you happen to see one guy go in before the other, don't mean one's ahead of the other. Both of them are playing really well right now. Karan Taylor would be the next guy on the depth chart as well.
No, Lovey was asked about the point spread. Obviously, a big spread heading into this game. What's the feeling around the offense about that? And do they feel like they're disrespected a little bit heading into the game with Wisconsin?
We don't pay too much attention to that, put too much weight into that. Hell, we were 30-point underdogs last year, right? So, I mean, we don't pay attention. You hear it. I mean, obviously you're going to hear it, but I don't think anybody around here puts too much weight on that, even when we're considered the favorites at times. So, it is what it is.
That's all I have. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, Rod. Hope you're well. Lovey said Vertus Brown is going to get the start at guard. So what did he do to win the job, and what growth have you seen from him?
Well, he's probably been the most consistent of the guys that was competing for the job. And to me, he's really turned the corner, at least in practices. Now, we got to see if it carries over to the games, obviously. It's always a different animal. But he's put himself in the best position, I think, to be our starting right guard. So he's trimmed down. He's moving much better. He's a big, strong, physical kid anyway. So just been really excited with his progress. I think Coach McClain's did a great job with him. From a fundamental standpoint, he's night and day compared to what he was in the spring. So excited about him.
And one more for you, Rod. I heard you had to sell all the Bebes, including Mom, Josh, and Daniel on his fit here. What was your pitch to Daniel, Josh, and Mom?
Yeah. Well, blood's always thicker than water. That's the first thing, right? You got opportunity to finish what you guys started together. I knew that had to be attractive to him. And then second of all, but most importantly, how are we going to utilize Daniel? How are you going to, be able to put him in position to be a big part of what we do, obviously, right? And so that's been a part of it. And when I showed it, laid out the vision, laid out how we was planning on using him and in the different manners and ways that he could touch the ball, but yet still his concern was, I don't want to take shine away from Josh, and that whole dynamic. And my thing is, we can do this thing together. There's enough touches to go around to keep everybody happy and fed. So, I think he kind of bought into what I was selling to him, how we planned on using him, and Josh was in love with it as well. And then, once that happened, then I think Mom got on board, and then it's a done deal.
Thanks, Rod.
Scott Beatty and Scott Ritchie.
Rod, good to see you. This tight end room and the possibilities that it opens up, where could it have the biggest impact? Is it the passing game and the red zone, running game possibilities? Where do you see that happening?
I think it's both, to be honest with you. And then plus you talk about matchups, right? Even regular down distance and normal field position. So, to me, you can create some matchups at times. Both of all those guys can be really good in the run game, but they're all athletic enough that you can flex them out and throw the ball to them on the perimeter as well at times. So, yeah, I think it kind of adds a whole new dimension to us.
Is there an aspect of your offense that you're most excited about showing off and letting people see as you develop new possibilities this year?
I just want us to be consistent. I don't know if I have an area where I'm excited to showcase. I want us to be consistent across the board. I want us to be as sound running the football as we are throwing the football, and vice versa. I want to be more of a complete team this year offensively. So, I think the biggest term we're using around here is consistency, right? Make sure we're consistent and we're consistently doing things the right way. We're consistently putting our eyes in the right position. We're consistently catching balls that need to be caught, consistently making the blocks and securing protection. All the things it needs to be successful offense. That's what we're working on.
Thanks, Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rod, with Brandon, what type of growth do you feel like is possible for him in year 2 as a starter, and just maybe what he can build upon from last season?
Yeah, I've said it several times. I think he was playing his best football towards the end of the season last year. So I think he was starting to get comfortable, starting to settle in a little bit, understanding a little bit more. The first 4 or 5 games, he's playing, God help him, like he's drinking water through a fire hose. And it's coming at him fast. It's new to him. No spring ball, 2 weeks of summer prep basically to get ready. So it was a rough early on as far as from a consistent standpoint of what we wanted. The more we're together, the more he understands what we're trying to get accomplished, how defenses try to play you, where you need to attack, the weakness of the defense, and things of that nature. Because I put so much on his plate now. I put a lot on the quarterback's plate. And you got to be sharp. You got to be pretty smart and make quick decisions. And he's shown the ability to do that. And I think just to build upon what he was completing last year, and then see if we can get him to another level in terms of production.
I guess as a follow-up to that, his 18-8 touchdown to interception ratio, what made that possible for him last year?
Well, I think the kid's got a good skill set, first thing. We had a couple of them called back, right? Josh had 2 touchdowns I can remember called back on penalties that were touchdowns, and then there was another 1 or 2 that were in the end zone that we thought he caught. They called in. So it should have been even more than that, to be honest with you. But I just think that he's got a really good skill set. He's got a good mind, understands, like I said, how to value the football, how to take care of it. We talk to him all the time. The football is the program. It's not just the football. It's the program. You take care of the program. You don't turn it over. You don't handle it lightly. You're not careless with it. So that's important to us, that turnover ratio, because the more we can keep that down and allow our defense to play and try to create turnovers like they try to do, we got a better chance of winning football games.
Thanks, Rod.
Yeah, thank you.
Mike Pearson.
Hey, Rod, in today's world of nationwide recruiting, Lovey confirmed that your starting O-line is entirely from the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
Has that commonality sparked a little more pride among that group?
Well, I think that group's been prideful since they've been here, and I think it's been, some hard lumps early on because they had to take them because you had to play as a true freshman or whatnot, and they took their lumps. And those guys have grown together, all from this state, all kind of went through the hard times, then start to see some of the positive times as well. So they've seen it all so far. But I'm telling you, Mike, there's great pride in that group, not just because they're from Illinois, but I also think that makes it better. I think they take a little bit more pride upon them because now all 5 of them are, and that's something a little unique for us.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Joey, then Matt Stevens.
Rod, good to see you. You mentioned Brandon last year at times it was like drinking water from a fire hose. Just in the way that he's carrying himself, is he a little looser now? If you could think back to that first game against Akron versus where he's at now, I mean, how much more are you seeing out of him just from that standpoint? I think you're muted.
You're muted, Rod.
Sorry, I pushed the wrong button there. Yeah, great question. I think he's much more comfortable now. I think last year he was searching for answers, searching for, okay, where do I go the ball whenever my first or second progression is not available. Now I think he understands the offense. He's comfortable. He knows where people are going to be. He knows how defenses are trying to defend you a little bit more. So, I just think he's much more comfortable. He's always been a loose guy. Not, obviously you can tell, not an over-emotional person, kind of even keel, which I kind of like because you want your quarterback to be even keel. Don't get too high, don't get too low, no matter what happens, because you got to be on point. I just think he's at a more comfortable level because of having some success and obviously having a bunch of reps at what we're doing. I feel much better because this is the first time I've had a second-year quarterback here at Illinois since I've been here. So that's reassuring on my part as well.
And then I guess I want to ask a little bit about Wisconsin defensively. I know obviously there's no tape, but how do you go about approaching them in terms of, is it their scheme? I guess, what's the game plan for you?
Well, I mean, they return just about everybody on defense. I mean, I think they return like 9 guys on defense, maybe 10. So there's basically their entire defense is back. And they were one of the best defenses, not just in this conference, but in the country last year. So it's going to be a hell of a challenge. We know that going up there at their place. And, I told our guys, we're going to have to be locked in. We got to be assignment free or assignment detail oriented. We can't be missing assignments. We got to know exactly what we're doing, know where we're going with the football. But I said, they're a good football team, but we are too when we do that. When we take care of ourselves and we don't turn the football over and we play mistake-free football, I think we got a chance to be a pretty good football team as well.
Thanks, Rod.
Thank you.
Matt.
Rod, you've done this a while. Are you kind of interested in how an empty stadium football game is going to work? And I imagine from your end of the spectrum on offense, communication might be the best it's ever been on the road.
Well, I played in Division II, so I'm kind of used to empty stadiums. That's not that big of a deal for me. It probably takes me back to my roots. Yeah, you'll probably get to hear everything, which will be kind of unique. But communication has never really been a problem for us, the way we do things. Now it should be just even easier.
And from your standpoint, I assume you'll be the bird's eye view in the booth again this year.
Yeah, I'll still be up.
If there is something that would happen with Coach Smith, do you feel comfortable having to maybe go down on the sidelines and be able to call the offense from that perspective as well? Is that something you feel like you could do?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be his call.
Right.
I'm not sit here and tell you, yeah, I'm doing that, or that's his call. But if he wants me to do that, then yeah, I'd be okay going down. I'd be okay staying up. I mean, I'm a soldier, man. I'll do what I'm told.
Thanks, Rod. I appreciate it.
Hey, Coach. Purdue's going through some trouble with Coach Braun being out. Can you imagine what that would be like in Illinois? And are you guys pretty well set up? Because the continuity on the staff. That help you guys a lot if you guys face a similar situation?
First off, I didn't know Braun was out. He's out, huh?
Well, he's not. He's definitely COVID. He's definitely positive. So
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's tough. It's tough stuff, man. It's crazy at times. Just some of the things that happen. The good thing is, we put in some protocols throughout camp. If knock on wood, the worst case scenario where I couldn't be around or Coach Lovey couldn't be around, there's steps in place that how we continue to run our systems, how we keep running the program. So, yeah, I mean, does it concern you? Absolutely, it concerns you. But at the same time, we have things and protocols in place for that exact scenario, just in case. So,
okay, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks.
Last one, Steve.
Thanks for doing this. You had mentioned how Wisconsin has just got everybody back on defense, but I was just wondering, what is it about their defense that has made them so effective on that side of the ball the last few years?
Well, first, they have really good football players. I mean, that's evident. I mean, statistically, they're not just wins and losses, but even from a defensive unit, they're one of the best in the Big Ten every year, and then one of the best in the country. So they're extremely talented, extremely well coached. I think Coach Leonard does a great job with those guys, and so and to go along with that, they're disciplined. So you have an athlete, you have a very talented group that's disciplined and well coached. That usually means a very good football team. That's exactly what they are. They got a good scheme. They play physical. They play hard. They do everything what you would expect a good defense to do, and that's exactly how they're coached. That's the culture.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Thanks.